Cathie Wood is famously known to predict trends in the economy. When Cathie speaks, investors follow. She predicted the crash of commodities and lumber prices and the correction in Ark Invest ETFs months ago. These are a few samples of short-term trends that Cathie has predicted. But her prediction isn't limited to just short-term. She can also do long-term and is much better at it. She predicted the boom of the internet back in the 1980s and the growth of all the innovation platforms of Ark. Now she's back with a prediction that's so big you don't want to miss it. She predicted that a certain industry will grow exponentially by 130 times. What industry is this? Tune in to find out. Welcome to Empire Investing, where we'll be sharing the latest in stock market news, technology, and innovative investment strategies for aspiring millionaires and billionaires. If this is your first time watching our channel, please consider subscribing to see more videos just like this. And now, let's get started. Part of an industry's growth is innovation. Without innovation, the industry might collapse. Innovation is improving their products and creating new and better ones that will replace previous versions. Cathie Wood is a person who studies innovation in the market. She recognizes the pattern of all innovative products, which we'll call the S-curve. The S-curve of innovation is a framework that is used to describe the pattern of innovative products when they are first introduced until the point where these products become old and inefficient. In this graph, you can see that in the beginning, the introduced product has a slow growth, and comparing it to the rate that the old product grows, it's not growing as fast. However, as the cost for innovation goes down, the growth of the new product accelerates and replaces the old product. Then the cycle repeats. The S-curve is an indicator that has been used multiple times, and at this point, it's an event that reoccurs for products that we see today. Initially, when a new product is introduced, a lot of people doubt it. We can see this example with Tesla and its production of EVs a decade ago. Now, if you look at this chart by Nicholas Felton, this also happened to electricity, refrigerators, cell phones, microwaves, and so on. However, Cathie predicts that the innovations we'll see today aren't as traditional and will be slightly different because these innovations are going to converge and grow all at the same time together. According to Ark Invest, the top 5 platforms that will exponentially grow in the coming years are blockchain technology, genome sequencing, robotics, energy storage, and artificial intelligence. As convergence accelerates, innovation advances. Ark Invest. We can see that with these platforms, they are more than simply replacing the old sectors. They're also combining with each other as well, such as in genome sequencing, where robotics and artificial intelligence are also used to help us analyze diseases more effectively. But before the acceleration happens, there will still be multiple doubts about these 5 platforms. For example, not a lot of people know about genomics or are experts in it to begin with, so few people believe that this is the future. But that's all part of the process of its growth moving forward. So this idea of following through cracks was the earliest manifestation of what we're seeing now, turbocharged. And that's the convergence between and among technologies that is creating one S-curve feeding another, and then explosion in innovation. So the 5 platforms, I think, are a very good example of convergence there, Cathie Wood. There are multiple sectors that overlap with the current innovation platforms, but Cathie points out that there's one sector in particular that will be the embodiment of all of them: autonomous driving. Sure, you may think that we're still far away from seeing self-driving cars become the norm in society. However, as we've discussed earlier about S-curves, we are at the slow growth stage. Autonomous driving is still worse when compared to human driving abilities. However, autonomous vehicles are improving over time, and as we see it progress and become better than human drivers, the S-curve will move up drastically. At this point, it's not an if, but a when question. And Cathie believes that the value of this market will be 130 times its current value, from an estimated value of $82 billion in 2021 to a whopping $7 to $10 trillion in 2030 to 2031. According to Cathie Wood, autonomous taxi networks are the convergence of three platforms: robotics, autonomous vehicles, and energy storage. That's going to be the most cost-effective form of transportation and artificial intelligence. These autonomous vehicles will be powered by artificial intelligence. We think this will be a $7 trillion revenue opportunity in 10 years, which is bigger than the energy industry today. Cathie Wood. Cathie's prediction is something that is most likely to happen. There are multiple car companies that are racing to be at the top of the autonomous vehicles industry. And Cathie sees Tesla as the leader of this innovation in the United States. However, we have to take into consideration Asia and Europe too. The main concern, however, for other countries is LiDAR, or light detection and ranging, which is only effective when used in geofenced zones. According to Cathie, autonomous taxi networks will submit to natural geographic monopolies, and those who invest now in artificial intelligence, data collection, robotics, and battery technology are going to be the winners. We've talked about the slow growth at the beginning of the S-curve, but what actually happens for it to shoot up? Well, Cathie relates this to a physics term called escape velocity. It's the velocity necessary for an object to escape a planet or an object's gravitational force. And an escape velocity happens when a product is at 10 to 20% of its market share. Cathie mentions that the reason why these innovative platforms have taken off at a fast rate is because of the pandemic, and the two platforms that have benefited greatly during the pandemic are electric vehicles and e-commerce. I think many people, as we went into the coronavirus and were coming out of it, were very surprised to learn that online retail in the United States was less than 15% of total retail sales. Because it seemed, we're getting boxes every day. I don't go to stores anymore. The coronavirus has bumped that up to 20% in the United States. I believe electric vehicles sales globally were 33% in a year that gas-powered vehicles were down 10%. Cathie Wood. Ironically, Cathie never predicted that the cause of the shift would be the pandemic. However, as we see more and more people avoid public transportation at the risk of being infected, the acceleration of this platform is even more evident now. Ironically, I never thought COVID would cause this, but as people decided they wanted to avoid mass transit and needed another car, which we don't think is going to last as a phenomenon, but as that happened, the shift towards electric accelerated, especially in China, which is offering subsidies. So the escape velocity in electric vehicles seems to have been forced earlier than normally would be the case by the coronavirus and by subsidies in China. Cathie Wood. There will be a huge disruption of innovation coming in the next decade or so, and this is only the beginning. The merging of innovative platforms from autonomous driving, electric vehicles, artificial intelligence, and many more will be massive. Although we're still at a slow growth stage, the escape velocity of all of this will be short but dramatically huge. We still don't know when it's going to shoot up, but if Cathie says so, you might need to consider what she's telling us about the potential of these sectors too. Keep in mind, however, that you need to do your own research and due diligence before investing or making financial decisions, as this is not financial advice. That's all for today. What do you think is going to happen in these sectors over the next decade? Do you think Cathie's prediction will come true? Join the discussion in the comments below. And if you like the video, please do click the like and subscribe button too. We'll see you guys in the next video.